Hello, we are here with Westbridge manager Phil. Now, Phil, what do you have to say to the game? What happened? 7-2 to GPR at home away. What happened?
I don't really think the scoreline properly shows how that game was. I mean, if you looked at the first half, even though we were the man down, and obviously being a man down really does matter a lot. Even though we were a man down, we looked the better team, and I think we were the better team in the first half. And it was one of those where we knew or we thought the moment we get a seventh player, it will be a walk in the park from there, or at least it'll be easier to actually get an attack going. So I think the once we got into the second half, we got that goal, and I think that just changed our mindset a little. And whilst we were doing fine in the first half, because we were just sitting there absorbing the GPR attack, I think in the second half something must have just twigged, and we just went a bit overboard on the attack. But I don't think a single player played bad. I really don't think it was down to how we played. I think it was just one of those days where you don't get the result you need or wanted or deserve.
Got you. And at the moment, Westbridge do sit in last place. As you know, Marlborough have been they don't exist anymore. So you guys are currently last. Is there any plan for getting up the table?
I mean, there's still half a season to go at the very least. Obviously, every team got 6 points for free at the start of because of Marlborough disbanding. We obviously won our only game. Our only win so far this season was against Marlborough. But I think if you look at previous results, they've been really close, and there's been cases where we do deserve the win, but we just don't get it. And it's up to me to address that. Against Waterford, it was 3-2. I think that was a fair enough loss. Brixton, that loss should have never happened, never ever happened. We dropped a 6-3 lead, and that was embarrassing. I don't care about the calibre of the opposition, but it was embarrassing to bottle that. And I think we just went on the attack, and I think that's our issue. We are quite quick to just go on the attack once we see something working, and we need to just stick to what works.
A lot of your attack today was like very. It didn't exist. Any comment on your attack? And is there any new players going to be coming in?
So the issue with our attack is Addy, bless him. Um, he only came back for that game, you know, and he's not played ECL in a while, so fair enough, he was rusty. But also, we couldn't really get the numbers up until the second half. I mean, in the first half, Eric was meant to play as a centre mid, but he ended up just slotting as a second centre back because we just needed to sit there and endure that attack. And GPR are a really attacking side, so you have to just be willing to sit there and endure it. And as much as we did, there's not really much you can do when Samu's got like two ping and can whip a ball out the air, thin air. So we did our best, but unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't work. And when you've got to defend like you do out against a team like GPR, who can really hit you on the attack with 4 or 5 people, you've got to just sit back and wait. And it meant we couldn't really attack as much as we wanted to.
And just last question. Westbridge have never had a solid keeper so far this season. Is there any plans of bringing in a new number one between the posts?
I mean, with how this season's gone so far and with how it's looking, I've got a rebuild on my hand at this stage. Um, we've gone through keepers, we've signed keepers, we've signed keepers that should be good, that could be solid, but one, it's hard enough to find a keeper within ECL that's good, and two, it's hard enough to find a keeper that's active. Um, you know, we had Ayak at the start of this game, but he had to go to a different league, and that's the thing. Our team's primarily composed of people who play different leagues. There's only a few of us who play ECL proper. It really didn't help that our two centre backs, our only two centre backs, were both out today. So defence wise, it was a bit of a higgledy piggledy mess. We had Nerd, our centre mid, playing at right back, and that's not an excuse at all. We did our best and we played really well defensively. I don't think that can be doubted. One or two errors, but that's just natural. Everyone makes an error. But yes, we desperately need a good goalkeeper that's active and consistent. And to go back onto something you said earlier, we also are looking for a striker. I mean, we have strikers, but they're not active enough. Activity is the issue. We need people from within ECL, and that's what I'm looking for now.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your comments.
No worries.